we've got about 10 minutes left, and I can go through a few things that like tools that if you're trying to add either instability with your movement, meaning you're just trying to work on stability of the exercise or like a balance. There's a couple of things that you can do, or just like homemade things that you can use as tools for your workout. So one of them, if you don't have a kettlebell like this, which a lot of people don't, like, well, what the heck can I do? We all get shipments every month.
Mm.
Cardboard is a great piece of equipment that you can use to add instability. And what I mean by that is a couple of weeks ago, we talked about doing lunges. Let's see if I can, yeah. So it's not going to work great because I'm on carpet right now, but if you're on like solid wood floor or like tile or linoleum, there's a lot less friction here. So what that's going to do is it's going to cause the cardboard to want to slide when you move. So if you're doing a lunge, you have to stabilize your foot and like plant it into the ground so that the cardboard doesn't move. And that's the idea, is you're like trying to anchor yourself to create that stability in an unstable environment. You can do it too with push-ups. One fun exercise, and I don't think we actually went through this, they're called star push-ups, where if you have 4 of these, here,
Oh my Lord.
4 of these, 2 for your hands, 2 for your feet. You're here, and you widen and come back up.
Ooh.
So you widen into like a wide push-up, and then push yourself back up into a normal push-up position. And you do the same thing with your legs. You widen and you come back in. It's a more complex movement, but it's something that you can do to challenge yourself in a more unstable environment.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
Is that something just popped in my mind as you did that? But is that I guess another variation of one of the push-ups that I've done is the clap push-up?
Well, so yeah, it's sort of. So in a clap push-up position, you're already wide, right? You're starting out wide, and it's more of it's what it's called is a plyometric type exercise, where you're exploding off the ground to clap to do your push. And then you see the people that are like super crazy, where they hip themselves up, they clap, 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 and then come back down because they have a military background or something like that. Right. So it's plyometric in nature. It's explosive, but what this star push-up is doing is you're going from neutral push-up to wide, and using sort of the same muscles to explode yourself back up into a normal push-up position.
Gotcha.
I can see why. My bad. I was just gonna say, I can see why you made that connection, Tanjeev, and that's a really good connection to make.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So cardboard is a great tool. If you have an old towel or just a towel in general that you don't use a lot, what you can do, let's use this for, let's move my chair, do a wall sit as an example. You can do this in a lot of different ways, but for a wall sit, you sit, get into your wall sit position, you bring your arms out, and all you're doing is trying to tug a little bit, activating the shoulder here. It's bringing tension. You're not trying to rip it apart. You're just trying to bring tension here, because what it's going to do is it's going to build a little bit of your chest. It's going to build the back, because you're trying to pull, and the towel is resisting actually opening up as far as you want to. So you don't even have to do it in a wall sit. You can just sit here. You can have overhead if you're squatting. You can do it with a lunge, right? It's just another focal point to add a little bit of complexity to your overall movement. Another one is a box. Now, preferably, it's a full box. I recommend using Perfect Water, not excess. Reason being, one, excess boxes is a little bit smaller, and you won't shake up your excess, and they won't explode on you.
That's the real reason.
That's the real reason. The Perfect Water, or if you have any other type of like stable box. But the reason you want this to be full, and I'm cheating here a little bit because I opened up my box, but you want it to be full because then it's fully stable. But if, again, getting back to lunges, stable environment, something you can use for your lunge, something you can use for your squat to sit down into a deep squat and come back up. And when it's full, you can also use it as resistance. Squats. I wouldn't recommend. I do something smaller for your cross choppers, although you could still get the movement, swinging back and forth for your obliques.
Randy, I've heard about some people using milk jugs.
Yeah.
That's what they call
Yep.
it. Yeah, for like certain
So
exercises.
I don't have a milk jug.
Right,
But it's
right.
another great one for just using as added resistance. Fill it either with water or if it's a full milk jug, just make sure it's not spoiling or splitting all over or whatever, right? Shaking milk all over your room. We don't want to create a mess, right? But-
Maybe we do.
Or maybe we do. I don't know. I guess that's your prerogative, I guess. Right? But that's another added resistance. It's just weight to add complexity to your movement. So yes, that's another great one. I just don't have it here as an example. But it's amazing the things that you can find around your house. You don't have to go out and buy stuff like this. I like this, well, for a couple of different reasons, but we won't go down that road today because it's a longer talk. But
Right. Which was what I was gonna mention. Do you Randy and Tanjeev and Zach, do you guys work out at a gym or mostly at home?
Most of my stuff's been running in like body weight, so
Gotcha.
yeah, mostly at home. Or more recently, before I injured my shoulder, it was going to our apartment gym.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for me, I think pre-pandemic, I used to hit the gym like 5-6 days a week. Now it's a little different, but I'm planning to go back soon. So
Okay.
do a variation of exercises. Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason I asked is if there was one piece of equipment that would and Randy was talking about it already, it'll be the kettlebell. You could do a lot with that. And it's a very small piece of equipment that you can always have in the house, get you worked up, and it's not going to take up that much space. For anybody in Zach's case, you probably wouldn't be able to do pull-ups yet. But for me, I like a pull-up bar, which is another easy equipment that a lot of people can hook up on their doors and still get a great workout. You can do abs, you can do your shoulders, you can take it down and put it on the floor and do a bunch of push-ups, variations of dips and things like that. So one of those two, it's it's just one of those two that, $30-$40 will get you something decent just to to just make it a little more challenging. But that's all I was going to say.
yeah, and I do have an affiliate link set up so you can get like 10% off if you do want to get some piece of equipment like this, or other equipment for home like speed and agility ladders, stuff like that. I do have an affiliate link set up for that.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Tanjeev.
Hey, Sanjeev. But yeah, the reason I like this so much, and we can end because I think we're at 9 o'clock. But the reason I like this so much is because you've got a single point for your weight. Because if you have dumbbells, your weight's distributed across two individual weights. And so it doesn't have the same center of gravity as something like this. You can do a lot more movement and mobility and swing it around and do all sorts of different stuff with something like this, where the natural grip of a dumbbell causes it to, not to say that you can't adapt it, but it causes it to be more like uniplanar, meaning using it mostly in a single plane without adding extra complexity. Because this is a lot easier to swing around in a circle than say like a dumbbell where you're holding onto one piece and then the other one is sort of like hitting your elbow at the same time. So that's why I personally like these a lot better than like a general dumbbell. But that's all we got for today.